This is What the Pod. The perfect vibes for that nice Sunday drive back to your city. You done had a good weekend, told the rental car company you wasn't going out of state. But that's okay. Here's what the pod has to say.
Like, whenever he was courting me and, maybe texting, he would text me every day. And I would text my friends and be like, oh my gosh, he's amazing. Like, screenshot this and be like, oh my gosh, he's so amazing. Yeah. Like, it would not be
I was
something
talking
to
that
laugh
sweet
at.
stuff too.
Sweet boy!
Sweet boy! Sweet boy!
But my friends, so, I guess maybe this is my friend group, but they would respond like, oh my gosh, like, wow. Like, they would be very, shocked, especially compared to the people I've dated in the past.
Do you think there's a component of, because women haven't experienced that a lot, they don't know how to handle that kind of behavior?
Possibly, absolutely. Like you said, there's a lot of people in the world. Yeah. A lot of people were raised differently, had different experiences growing up. There's so many factors that go into it that obviously make me not be able to just categorize everyone and say, this is why they act like this, or this is why certain people act like this. But hopefully, with all the experiences you've had in your life at 35, hopefully you would have learned a couple things and not been laughing at a guy who was,
being chivalrous. If someone's being nice, sweet, trying to do their best to make you happy, court you, things like that, why clown them?
Yeah, why are we clowning them?
Because the woman now feels like, oh, I have all this power over this guy.
It's a childish mindset.
Yeah. I feel like there's a reason for that. Like there's
because women are not. I personally feel like, first of all, I feel like women are very smart. So
very
we think we have the system set up against women, but low key women are running everything.
It's always the other way around. Let's see. My question is wait.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So my thing is behind the scenes, okay, women know that if I get this powerful guy, I'm gonna be in his ear, right? I'm gonna be like that. I literally know, CEOs and shit that still bend to the. I'm not gonna say bend, but do things because of women.
Mm-hmm. The power of
so.
Okay.
So
I don't want to say the word, but
I mean, you can say it.
That's facts amongst the world. The power of the pussy. Yeah. We can't deny that as a phenomenon.
Exactly. And I feel like there's a whole bunch of women out there that take that power and abuse it. That's just 60
I'm not
years
gonna
old,
disagree with
70
you.
years old.
I cannot sit here and disagree with you on that.
So my take on this is that, to me, it seems like, from what you ladies are saying, you would say that more often than not, you would be more receptive of a man who was more generous, more chivalrous, all that stuff. But from our perspective, it seems like, and you can understand this too, you mentioned when you were younger, you wanted the bad guy, right? You were more allured to the guy who was doing all the crazy shit. He was out there, he was the most known, he was the most public. But usually that meant he was probably the worst dude, right?
He
had
not gonna
exactly.
He was the bad boy.
Those were the waste.
He was the guy you see in the movie, riding the bike with a leather jacket.
He was out here like this, exactly.
I've been there,
right? Everybody wanted that guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I feel like I can speak for myself. I can speak for you too, probably, because I know what kind of dude you are.
Mm-hmm.
But we weren't that dude. We were the opposite dude, right? We were the kind that would text you in the morning. Mm-hmm. The kind that would.
That shit.
He still has condoms, and he's still a virgin. She's still a virgin, so he's still.
I am still a virgin.
So he's that kind of dude. I'm just going off what you said too, but I know you, right? So all I'm saying is to me, it seems like we were those kind of guys that weren't given the attention up front because of that. Yeah. And it's crazy because it doesn't take much time for women to go through the cycle of all the bad stuff to find their way back to what they actually think they want or know they want, right?
I think, to just speak for myself.
Go ahead, speak for yourself.
I think definitely there was a time that I was that guy that's I'm just gonna, if I do this, maybe she'll let me. Maybe when I was 9 years old, 10 years old. I think very early on in life, I realized that I cannot bend the will of anyone because at the end of the day, I have to be me.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever look back and be like, oh, I wish I had done this, or I wish I'd like. So my thing has always been like, if she doesn't like me, there's 7 billion people in the world.
There's a lot of people, bro.
There's a lot of people.
You can go to China, bro.
I'm not stressing. Like
Exactly.
I've never been in a situation where it's like I just didn't have anyone that didn't like me since I've had that mindset. So I think for me, it's always just been like, I'm just gonna be myself. If you like me, cool. If you don't, then maybe I'm not the guy for you.
But being yourself, does that have anything to do with texting a girl that you like good morning every morning? Like, what does that have to do with?
I'm gonna tell you. I think the fact is that just generally, a lot of guys are not gonna do that. They do that because they think, okay, yeah, this is gonna make the woman a little bit happier. I want to make her a little bit happier.
They don't do it because they're like, oh man, I'm thinking about this girl. I really like her.
You know what? I'll chime in on that.
I'm
too.
like, dang.
I'll chime in on that too. And of course, I'm in a relationship, but like, I can understand what he's saying because at some point you understand like you're doing things. I wouldn't say to make her continue to be like interested in growing feelings, but what will make the woman happy, right? And at the end of the day, if you had a good dude, like he will try to do that. But the natural inclination is like we don't have to text all the time, talk all the time. I feel like that's what she's saying right
So
now.
going off of like when we started dating, let's just take that into
personal thing.
I'm just saying.
Put that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was gonna say was, let's take our relationship as an example. Whenever we started dating, did you do stuff or like text me consistently because you were thinking, oh, she'd like this, or because you were thinking like, oh, I really like this girl, let me, do my thing?
I'm sorry, y'all. I need to get my drink.
Get your drink, bro. Get your drink. I got you. I'll PJ for a little bit. I mean, originally it was like, for me, it was mostly natural, right? The things that I was doing then were the things that I would have naturally done. But still at the same time as a man, it's not like you're doing stuff that's unnatural for you. You're just doing stuff that you know will continue to grow and build that relationship, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like as a woman, you can relate to the same things. It might be different. But as a man, it's like you're talking to a girl, you're texting all the time, you're trying to be consistent, you're trying to show her that you're willing to put in that time and effort. Now, whether or not you're going to text every day, like, do we text every day now? Like, I'll just ask you that now. Like, if I'm at work or whatever.
We live together.
Right.
That ain't answer the question,
Tori,
though.
we didn't ask you. Hold on, Tori.
That did not answer the
Tori, we
question,
didn't
though.
ask. I'm just saying,
The answer is yes, we do. Actually, if we're not together, we text all the time.
No,
we
but
text
every day.
I'm talking like we used to, like all the time.
If
like,
we're not together, yes.
we might need to have part 3.
Go on. Get your shit off, kid. Get your shit off, kid.
So let me explain what I'm saying here. Let me see if I can get you to agree with me. Right. So it's not like you're being fake. It's not like you're doing extra just to make somebody feel a certain way. Is you're making sure you're doing what you think the other person would do at that time to make them feel that you're serious about them, right? But as we've learned more about each other, we know what we need and what's required for us in a relationship to feel comfort in that relationship, right? Mm-hmm. At the time when we met, I'm like, okay, I'm going to talk to her all the time. As soon as she texts me, I'm going to text her right back. As soon as I text you, you're going to text me right back. If she calls me, I'm going to be up all night till 4 o'clock in the morning if she wants to. You know what I'm saying? But like, is that really what's required now? It might not be because we got to know each other, right? There's a certain level of comfort. But at the beginning, you want to make sure you're doing that stuff to make sure that the other person knows that you're putting in the effort. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And I have a question. So obviously you wouldn't be doing all of that if you weren't interested, right? So I think there is part of it where you wanted to, but you wanted to do it to show her that you were serious in pursuing her. Is that correct?
Exactly. It's not like you're putting up a front or being fake with somebody.
So I think what it is that it's not like, all things being equal, this is something you do to a regular girl on a regular day. You do all of these because of the girl. Like, you want her to know, okay, yeah, this guy is really in for the long run. Like this guy's really here. So that's why you do it. Not like, oh, I just, pull out all the stops for any random Tom, Dick, and Harriet.
Yeah. So let me ask a question to build upon this right now, and I'll direct this right back to the ladies. Is there stuff that you found yourself doing in those early courting phases that when you actually get into a relationship, you don't do anymore?
I laugh more than I typically would. I definitely get myself
he thinks he's a clown before, but then when he gets into it, he's like,
"Oh, you're just so funny."
That is literally the kind of shit you see on like TV and stuff. Like, oh, just laugh at all his jokes.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I do that a lot, but mostly because I'm like nervous and excited. I think, and then also like want to like make sure the conversation continues. Maybe I don't know, but like. Going out of the way to do other things, no. If I'm not interested in you, I'm not doing. Like, I'm not gonna show you any sort of actions to say that I'm gonna pursue you.
Yeah.
But I do laugh a lot.
That was funny.
Laughing, giggling.
Yeah, I can see.
I'm never gonna feel comfortable with the laugh on the first date again.
Exactly. Listen, boy, if she's out there kikiing too much, remember that Tory formula. Tory laughing.
Remember, you ain't funny. She just laughing so the conversation continue and you pay for dinner.
So keep talking, King. Get your stuff off.
Now
King.
you know what's really real.
Hey.
Go ahead.
I can understand that if you're nervous and stuff, but I don't think I would say that. Like I laugh ridiculously. I laugh a lot, anyways. The only thing I can think about is like maybe sexual things. I don't know. I can't think of anything other than that. But that would be a conversation.
Expand on sexual.
Yes,
things.
please.
That would be a conversation for another day. I'd say. For real.
That's another day.
That's gonna be like too much.
See, she's just securing her spot back on the future episodes.
That's
That's okay. That's okay.
That's okay.
I ain't mad at that. All I'm saying is that like both of y'all cannot break up before we get this episode. I'm joking. They're gonna be here for a while, ladies and gentlemen. They're gonna be here. This is real love right here, man.
We together, you feel me?
We in this.
We've been through some things.
Hey.
Hit that. It's a real team, bro.
Real team. Dano.
It's not splitting up.
All right, so you guys, I think the other thing we wanted to discuss is feminism / equality of genders versus chivalry / being a gentleman.
Okay.
So what do y'all think about that? Like, how do those two things play side by side?
I think it's like a fine line. Sometimes it can feel like a fine line, especially when like nowadays women are trying to get the same pay as men and like all these things. But
so I think let me expand on that a little bit, right? So first of all, I think like 1000% yes to equality. Everybody's equal, and we need to do more to show that in day-to-day life. My question now is, if both of y'all are equal, then where does it come in asking a man, like, oh, pay for the first date or fly me out or, things like that when you're not doing those things for him in return?
I think that's exactly what I'm saying. Like now everyone, like women want the same pay and now we want, the same roles and we want the same things that men get, the same, perks that men get. So it's kind of hard.
1000%.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to sit here and be like, oh yeah, we need the men to do this, that, and the other. But
okay.
So I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna probe in on that though. It's one thing to like know you don't need it, but what's the other part of expecting it on the first date or as you continue to get to know?
Now I've seen the topic where people are like, okay, whoever asked the person out should pay for the date.
Do you agree with that though, or you've seen that? Like, if you're talking to a guy and you're like, oh yeah, we should go out for some dinner or whatever, would you pay?
You gonna pay for it?
Because at this point in my life, I could.
But 5 seconds ago, you just said like you wasn't gonna do that.
But I'm like I said, I'm usually not the one to pursue someone either. I'm not the person who goes out there.
So you wouldn't generally suggest the first date, is what you're saying?
I wouldn't either.
Yeah, that's just not me. Now, if I was ever so inclined to, I would offer, but in the back of my mind, I would still be kind of hoping like he would be like, no.
So you would expect him.
Maybe I just have low, maybe have like older ways of thinking, but
then in that case, do you think like?
I think on the first date, the guy should pay, but after that, you can start switching off.
But then in that case, if in the first date, like let's say you ever get to the place where you ask the guy out, right, and you still think he should pay, do you think that there's certain? So let me kind of go back to, and I mean this is not really a religious podcast or anything, but I'm gonna go back to what the Bible says. Mm-hmm. The Bible is like, women submit to your men. I'm summarizing here. I'm paraphrasing. Yeah. Women submit to your men. Men lift your women up, right? Yeah. So if you're still expecting those kind of things from a guy, then do you think that you should submit to a guy?
I think in some instances, yeah, I feel like it's a both ways kind of thing. That you guys should submit to each other, just depending on the situation. Like it's a back and forth kind of thing. In my opinion, the first date, yeah, I think the guy should pay. But after that, it's going back and forth. If
it's actually equal, if y'all are on the same level, if like everything is 50-50, then why do you think the guy should pay?
Because in my experience, I need to be shown that you're pursuing me, that you are showing interest,
But why do you think the guy doesn't need that?
That's a good point.
Because here's the perspective, right? Mm-hmm. Is as a guy, we've been on a lot of first dates. Mm-hmm. You go out, you
speak for yourself. I ain't never been on a
project. Money for a chick, and she doesn't want to talk anymore. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We don't have money either. Back when you're talking about when you have money to pay for dates, we didn't have money
because it's like y'all are both in college or something. Like y'all are both not making any money, but the girl is expecting this guy to fly her out and pay for the vacation. I'm gonna tell you that where I went to college, because we were in Europe, right? We were in the UK, so there was all these vacations in like Ibiza, Napa, all these things, and girls would be expecting their boyfriends to like fly them out to those things. Y'all are both
the boyfriends were on the same level.
Y'all are both in college.
Hey, Shiki couldn't do it then. She can do it now.
I would not expect that.
Some women are unreasonable.
Right. I'm not gonna expect that.
I know that. Like I know women like that. So.
Like in my opinion too, like even when we were in college, if you can't afford $40 for a date, I'm probably not gonna be that interested. But that's just me. I am a little bit shallow, I will admit. Just a little bit. That's just me.
I mean, that's a tough thing to hold somebody up to. Like, imagine how much $40 hits for you. Mm-hmm. Imagine $40 to take you out and then also feed himself. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I mean, first of all, in college, definitely. But even today, like $40 could buy my groceries for the week.
Listen, by yourself, right?
For the week,
exactly. You can eat well.
So if I'm dropping that on the first date, and I mean first dates are usually more expensive than $40, right? But if I'm dropping that for the first date, like come on, that's
what about
especially in college, that's a lot of money.
What about now? We're all not in college anymore, so let's talk about right now.
Okay, if I'm literally taking a girl out every day, I mean, either way, whether I'm taking you out or not.
It's
okay, wait. Let me I edited my statement on my own, so let me land.
Let him expand.
Go ahead.
Let the king get a show.
Okay, but if I'm taking you out on a regular basis, or like even if it's once in a while, even if I never take you out, you take me out all the time, as a man, I expect my woman to submit to me. The flip side of that is that I'm not now gonna take my woman for dickhead. I'm gonna do my best to lift her up as a queen. So it's a give and take. Submit to me, and it's almost like
to you in which way?
In the way that the Bible says, I am the head of the household. There's no two ways about that. Mm-hmm. So if I say something, that goes. But at the end of the day, I'm never gonna say something for our household without consulting you.
Right.
Okay.
I feel that.
Go ahead and get your stuff off.
No, the Bible, of course, seems very harsh and set in stone, and the way that it comes off can be very maybe downplaying women or making us
again
feel
this is not like a religious podcast,
but I can understand what you mean. Like that, of course, you're the head of the household, which is the way I feel like a more traditional woman, and I feel the same way. Like, my man is the head of the household. He wears the pants, but at the same time, we're equals, and he's gonna come to me about things that we need to consult on. He's not just gonna make a decision for the household that he doesn't consult with me on.
And so I think that goes back to like women submit to your husband, husbands lift your woman up.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah, the thing I think about that, like what you said here with like, to me, what Shiji's saying is not suppression of the woman, it's uplifting. And if you're, as a man, doing what you're supposed to do for the woman in the relationship, the woman should support you in that, right? The way I see it is like, I don't want to get religious, of course, because it's not a religious podcast, but God created man, right? He created Adam and created Eve to be his counterpart, right? Mm-hmm. Eve was supposed to support Adam in his endeavors, to be there for him, to be an equal with him, right? That's what we want. We need to be equally yoked. As a man, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, right? You're not out here messing around. You're not out here not putting in on stuff. You're not out here, trying to be an aspiring artist, but you ain't doing nothing. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, your girl's supposed to support you on that. But as a man, we need to feel like this is our household. This is our woman. And she is doing what she's supposed to do for the household as we are supporting her in her endeavors for the household. That's what the expectation is. But sometimes it can come across different. So I'm going to pose a question like this to you ladies real quick, if we got time for that.
Quick answer.
I'm going to get one from Nina and then get from Tori. All right. So let's picture a situation, right? Where you've got a man. He's got a job. He's doing what he's supposed to. He's putting on the bills.
She don't want no scrub.
Scrub isn't having ain't no love.
Dun, dun.
I messed up some words, y'all. That was Jack Daniels.
Go ahead.
That was Jack Daniels induced. All right, he's putting in everything. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think about women who are unable to relinquish that idea of submission to a man? By submission, I mean allowing a man to lead and a woman following his endeavors.
I don't want to judge other women or whatever. Everyone has their own upbringing, like we talked about earlier. Everyone has their own thing that they're used to, that they've grown up with. Personally, I think that if a man, like you said, is doing what he needs to do, he's taking care of the household, that I'm gonna be the way that I learned to be is, respect your man, which means submitting to him in some instances, and y'all having that balance.
A lot of women don't think like that.
A lot of women don't, especially nowadays.
Exactly.
Especially
a lot of
nowadays,
women do not think like that.
Women think like people say. Women think like men. Like a lot of times, that's how it happens.
Women think like I need to control this man.
Exactly.
I need to be
like he thinks he's running.
All right, we took a little break. Victoria, I think you had some stuff you wanted to say.
Yeah, so I guess it comes to the interpretation of the word submit and like what that really means. Because I feel like now with like the modern times, men and women are both working, we're both bringing income into the house. So if we're both equal, we should be equally making those decisions. I did grow up in a household though where the man would lead, but my mom was the one really who was calling all the shots behind the scenes. My dad would be like the head of the family, you know what I mean? And I can respect that for sure. So I guess the word submission was always kind of weird to me. Like I didn't really know what that meant, but if it means like I don't know, it's hard to explain. But if we could both have input in the family, we both, have our say in what's going to happen. We're both equals, but he's the one that's like leading the family, then that's cool with me.
But I think that goes back to the opposite view of if you're both equals. Like for me personally, if I'm dating a woman, I'm more than happy to fly her out, to give her nice things, all of that. But and for me personally, they talk about love languages and stuff like that. For me, material things might not even be that is not my love language. But just knowing that she does that stuff as well. Like
yeah, and in my last relationship, I flew my man out because he paid for he was constantly coming to see me, and then one of the times I was like, I'm gonna get your ticket for you, right? Like, so we bought each other gifts. Like, it was very mutual.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like when it's a situation like that, I mean, that's cool. That's what I'm saying. Like, the first date, me personally, I expect the man to pay. But after that, if we're both interested in seeing each other equals, like, yeah, you know, we trade off. We can start trading off. I can pay for things. You can pay for things. We can do free stuff even better. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's a give and take situation. But for me, I do think on the first date, the guy should pay.
Just to start it off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah.
That's just me.
But why does the guy have to start it off?
I don't know.
But you know
it's
what?
An old mindset, but
is an old
still,
mindset.
It's just like what we grew up with. I don't know.
I feel like you cannot have it both ways, though. Like, I mean, as a man, most of the time, like, I've never been on a first date that I didn't pay for. Mm-hmm. However, if I felt like the woman expected me to pay, then that is a problem for me.
You feel some type of way.
Exactly. Like, if you don't even reach for the check, like, if you reach for the check, there's no way I'm allowing you to pay for that check on the first date, right? But, like, if you don't even reach for the check, I don't think I'm asking you out on the second date.
I didn't reach for a check. You know what? I don't know.
So here's the thing, though. Here's something to think about with this whole situation.
Although I've never been on a date, by the way.
He's a virgin, so
virgin in the building. I'm a virgin, but.
So let's think about it from this way, Shiji. Let's think about it from this way. Imagine you two as a lady, Nina and Tori. You go on a date. You're trying to be this hyper feminist. You're really trying to be on your own stuff. I'm taking care of me. On a date with some guy, you go out to dinner. You decide to go Dutch that date, right? Mm-hmm. What kind of message do you think that sends to the man on that date?
Splitting everything?
Yeah, you say, he's like, I'm going to cover dinner. You're like, no, it's okay. I'm going to pay for my half of the dinner. I'm paying for half of the movie, whatever it is. Like, you're going halfway on everything that is on the date. Mm-hmm. Is there something in your mind that makes you feel like, if I do this and I pay for my own way, as a feminist, somebody who I believe I can pay for myself, if I do this, it will convey to that man that I'm actually not interested in him. Is there any thought about that, these interactions?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if there's a situation, I'd be like, okay, I would start reaching for it if I wasn't sure how the date was going. And then if he pays for it, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not necessarily saying we would go out again, but if I like reach for it, I'm like, oh no, it's fine. You know, I think I would do that if I wasn't interested.
Yeah.
Really?
I agree with that, actually.
So if you weren't feeling the date, you would actually decide to go Dutch on that and just say, I'll pay for my portion, you pay for yours, and that's it.
Or if it was really expensive and I felt bad or something like that. But, yeah. Because I don't like people spending a lot of money on me, especially if they don't know me all that well. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not expecting you to, like, take me to the Seasons, 52 or something like that. What's that restaurant?
Yeah, that's
on
right.
First date or
That's
anything
that
like that. That's
stuff.
crazy. But, yeah. If I'm like very adamant about it, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna pay for my part.
Then you should know something's up.
So we should know. We should know. Hey, look,
crazy. Nick, like brothers. If you ever take this woman out and you and she pays for half of the check, all I gotta say is.
So sorry about you.
The date didn't go so well. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Lord, have mercy. But
that's the one that decided to play low.
Can we get real for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. We're here to be real.
You remember our first date?
Yes, I do.
I'm talking about me and Nina's first date. All right, let me just give y'all a little story.
I hate couples.
He hates couples.
I'm joking, but I love Nuvi and Nina though. I love them.
Just like.
Not the whole story. We're going to give them a little piece that's relevant over here, right? Okay. So I drive down to Atlanta. I'm in Clemson, so it's like 45 minutes away. Drive down, take her on a date, take her to Atlantic Station in Atlanta.
Okay.
Tori knows. It's nice.
But he made it seem like he was coming down to see his cousin, okay? He didn't say like, oh, I'm coming down for you.
Hey, he's got to like hold his ground a little bit. Come on.
I'm just telling you what he said from my point of view. So
I appreciate you. I had to get away down there. So I take her out. We go out to Atlantic Station. We have a good time. We have dinner. We have a movie. We go out to a club afterwards. It was straight. Mm-hmm. But I remember specifically, just talking about on the dinner date, I remember at one point me going to pay for the whole check. And she mentioned that she wanted to pay for her half. And me as a man, I'm like, nah, why? Like, I came to take you out. I'm paying for it. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, if I'm paying for half of it and she wants to pay her half, things might not be going well. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the sense that I really got from the rest of the date. You know what I'm saying? Everything was cool.
All right, so Nina, let's get
whoa. We don't have to go back.
Let's get your perception.
So we went back. So here she is.
We need to go off camera on this.
We are off camera.
Technically.
No, we need to go off recording on this.
Off the record?
Off the record.
We'll save this for another time.
All right, yeah, we're going to save this for another time.
I might have struck a nerve here. All
right. I think we can actually close this out now. Does anyone have anything else they want to get off?
We're going to end it right there.
All right. So, as always, I'm going to say,
I hope y'all live long, love hard, laugh often, and learn a lot. I'm going to close this out with a little bit of a UK vibe. You know, if you don't know this, feel free to Shazam it. Always have to put you onto some new music. My UK people, y'all know the vibes. You know, skitty pop pop. But until next time, have a blessed time. Love.
Woo! Remix. I'm just in my zone. They be lying now, they calling me Richie lying
I
now.
used to buy and sell. I was on the strip getting clientele.
Wait, don't say that.
When you say act, we gotta go legit now. We
Gotta pay tax, made back everything that we put in back then.
So them know everything I on my head.
Flow retro, light up my lighter and get my head
blown.
I'm just in my zone. You be lying if you said I wasn't something that you're into. Don't be stunting in front of your friends, you know what I'm into. Don't need to hide it. You could be mine, let's take it slow. Manny's a hater. All in the slide, I came for you.
You'd be lying if you said you wasn't eyeing up the wretch. Girl, you're free to see the best and you ain't even got stress. I already got the message, I don't need to read the text. We'll really speak in depth when I'm deep between your legs. You played the light game on Insta for a week or two. Then you jumped in my DMs like peekaboo. But girl, I'm from the era of the Nell Jones. Hit you on the house phone, I knew who I was speaking to. I'll be lying if I said that I was trying to be your equal. God, John ain't the only legend for you ordinary people.
Oh, nah, yeah.
And I gotta keep it shower even though I'm hot and cold. Cause I drive you up the wall playing Lewis and Nicole. It's a never ending cycle when I'm fed up to the old. But I gotta keep you on your toes.
You'd be lying if you said I wasn't something that you're into. Don't be stunting in front of your friends, you know what I'm into. Don't need to hide it. You could be mine, let's take it slow. Man, he's a hater. All in the slide, I came for you. You'd be lying if you said I wasn't something that you're into. Don't be stunting in front of your friends, you know what I'm into. Don't need to hide it. You could be mine, let's take it slow. Man, he's a hater. All in the slide, I came for you.
Hey, you know Chippy had to get a verse too. Can't never run out of bars, even on girl tunes. Man, he's a hater, tell him leave me alone. I got my weed and my spice, I'm trying to be in my zone. Hey, told the butterfly your legs, let me slide in. The beats on, I have to kill it now. Still a grime kid, neighbors at the door now. Cause she wildin', she getting too hot. Cool down, slip the ice in. You lying if you said I wasn't something that you're into. I got niggas in they feelings cause they ting is one I've been through. Slid through. But said God, them boy they still losing. Me she choosing. Wavy, so I brush them, keep it moving. I got bodies, don't be tripping off the count. Or be tripping off my past, cause I'm into you now.